What to do when the buyer will not take the home after the repairs have been completed by the seller. Have you ever had a buyer who got a home inspection, requested repairs from the seller, and after the seller made the repairs, they were unhappy with the repairs that were made, the quality of the repairs, who made the repairs, whether it was a homeowner or a contractor, etc. And you were in a position as the real estate agent to try to figure out how to work that out. Or the buyer says, hey, I just don't want the house. The first thing I would tell you to do is tell the buyer to seek legal advice, as chances are they could possibly be in breach of contract. If their inspection notice did not specifically say, this is who I want to do the inspection repair, this is how much it should cost, this is the bid, this is, I don't know, if they don't dictate it in some way, shape, or fashion, then I don't know that the buyer really has much of a leg to stand on. It's important that the buyer should discuss with their agent, and the agent should discuss with the buyer what the expectations are and what they're expecting at the time that they get to closing. And given a lot of times this comes up at final walkthrough or shortly before final walkthrough, when they're getting prepped for closing, getting ready to almost be at the closing table, and they're asking these questions. So don't hesitate to advise your buyer during their inspection phase to get bids for the repairs that they're seeking, and to make sure they complete inspections early enough that they're not asking for an extension, of which is just a choice for the seller to grant that extension. The seller does not necessarily need to grant that permission. They can say, sorry, buyer, your inspection phase is complete, and so therefore I'm not going to give you an extension on your inspection. Chances are the seller will not see where the buyer is coming from, and they will not understand why the buyer is not satisfied with, one, the fact that they completed the repair, two, what the repair costed them, the method in which they completed the repair, or the fact that they did not hire a contractor of some sorts, or an HVAC tech, or an electrician, or is that a licensed electrician? All of those things play into the factors. So when you head into these inspections, make sure you're being aware that you need to help the buyer have enough time not only to complete their home inspection, but also to seek any repairs that they need. And if you have that 5-day specialist report in your contract, you can initiate that. But beyond that, chances are a seller doesn't have to allow you to extend out that period. So this is just food for thought and something to think about. If you have any other questions, don't hesitate to let me know. Have a great day.